Hi. We're here to do our first Where I'm From with Mesa. She should be here any minute. I hope everyone's doing well. And hi, Amy. We're waiting for Mesa. I think she should be here any second. Hi, Mira. Oh, here's Mesa. I will request, or you can request, either one. Hi, Mesa.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Let me tilt that down. I'm like, wow, you can't see me.
Yeah, the
How
framing's a
funny.
little strange on these.
Yeah.
But
How
we're
fun.
here. Thank you so
Hooray.
much
Yay.
for
Thank you.
volunteering to be the first one. I have already had the pleasure of reading it to myself, but I'm very excited to hear you read it. So
Oh, thank you.
unless you have any questions, let's go for it.
No, I'm ready to jump right in.
Great.
So, all right. Let me make sure it's lined up. Okay. So where I'm from. I am from Ink and Paper, from Folgers Coffee and Coffee Mate Vanilla Creamer. I am from the clover patch next to the concrete driveway. Dewy earth, dewy, earthy, a soft spot in the hard grass. I am from the oak trees, whose surety in trunk and steadfastness in roots lined the road and guided me to my mother when my aunt was lost and couldn't remember the way. I'm from Sunday dinners and addiction, from Doreen and Diana Kay. I'm from the needing to be rights and never wrongs, from use your inside voice and always make good choices. I'm from Question Everything and Mormons Who Never Did. I'm from Dirty Vegas and the Wilkersons, dry roast beef with mashed potatoes and gravy and fresh baked chocolate chip cookies. From the addiction-riddled father and mother who lost their lives to separate suicides 23 years apart, my father on Christmas Eve 1995, and my mother 3 months before my 30th birthday in 2008. In multiple cardboard boxes live pictures in bags, albums, and frames of a family history that was often a facade filled with secrets that would be revealed upon the deaths of my grandmother and mother, the lost loves, deafening silences, and soul-crushing judgments behind the carefully curated smiles. I am from the spaces between the judgments and contagious silence, the product of ties that bind, but am somehow always left behind. I foraged through the boxes to find myself and looking for a place there. Instead, I found my voice within and made a space for myself in a life that's all my own, no longer seeking approval that will never come from the faces in the frames. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
That was beautiful. I choked up when you choked up the
I,
tie.
I told myself I wouldn't get emotional, but okay, so I lied to myself.
It's a little hard to read our own words, I think, sometimes without getting choked up, at
Yeah,
least for me.
yeah, for sure, for
And the
sure.
ties that bind and leave us behind or always leave us behind, and that resonates with me. That's so well
Yeah,
expressed.
thank you.
It really hit me. So what was the experience like writing it?
Um, at first it was daunting when I was reading through like all the different prompts. I was like, oh my gosh, what am I even going to talk about? And then slowly, like these little ideas started percolate in my brain, and I
Mm-hmm.
started to think about, well, since I'm writing my memoir, are there things that I can pull from what I've already written or what I've wanted to write? And so this was everything that I've been wanting to write and hadn't been able to. So it was like, I feel like I went through and did all these factual things previously, and this gave me a chance to be creative. And I kind of went backwards in time in my mind to what it was like as a little kid. You know, like that's where I talked about it in my original version. I talked about the this is why I didn't use Chitolpa tree because I knew I would stumble over it. But that was the tree in my grandmother's front yard that I would
Mm.
swing from. So I decided to go with oak trees because that's what is a very vivid memory for me with my mother. She got stuck at work one day. I was about 4 years old, and my aunt needed to go pick her up and she couldn't remember the way, but I did from the trees. And so that's why I changed that this morning. But it led me down this path of like, okay, how much more creative can I be? And this opened that for me. So thank you. You lit a fire under me.
You're so welcome. I feel like that's the joy of a writing prompt, right? Is if we can use
Yeah.
it to excavate something that we're already trying to uncover. So
Yes,
I'm
for
glad it
sure.
worked that way for you. It did
Yeah.
for me as well.
That's
Um,
awesome.
and it's difficult sometimes to tell people where we're from. I always feel it's so reductive.
I
Um,
agree. Yeah, this makes it much more, I could say, "Oh, I'm just from Las Vegas." And I say that often and people always are like, "Oh, what's that like?"
mhm,
But this gives a fuller, richer picture, I think, to where we actually come from and what our
mhm,
roots are. It's a
mhm.
beautiful, beautiful way to express ourselves, I think.
It's such a gift, the prompt.
Hmm.
I love having a container so to just
Yeah.
put my thoughts and ideas into. So this one is one of the best
Yeah.
ones I've come across. So
Same.
it's such a joy because for anyone watching this, Mesa and I are social media friends, but I've never actually spoke to her. So this is the first
Yeah.
time.
This is our first meeting,
This
going
is
a
our,
little deep, but that's all right.
but that's great. Now we don't need to
Yeah.
talk all the small talk. So
Yeah, for sure.
does anyone on the call have a question? I appreciate your support. I didn't know if it would just be Mason and me
Right.
here
Yeah.
this morning.
Hooray to everybody that showed up. Thank
Yes,
you.
we
Amy, I'm
appreciate
so
you.
glad you were here. Oh, my daughter came in too. She's the 50 Shades of Beauty. Aw.
That's really
Hooray.
sweet.
I'll
I'm
scroll through and see if there's any questions. I don't see
Yeah.
anything, so. All
Okay.
right.
Anything else you want to say, Mason?
No, just a huge thank you to you for, having me and for allowing me to share this. I don't know. I hope you keep doing this and that it grows, you get more people to do it. It's such a freeing,
I
experience.
think
So,
people have anxiety about not being writerly enough, and
yeah,
I think that
don't need
it's
to
the
be
opposite. Everyone's
for
a
sure.
writer. Everyone has a story, and what I like
Yeah.
about this prompt is it takes the onus off of us to come up with creative ways to express ourselves.
Yeah.
They're all there. We just have to
Yeah,
fill in the blanks,
for sure.
and that's I thought it was fun. I don't know if you had a similar experience, but I could do more. Like I could do
Yeah.
different iterations of myself.
I
Here's
was just
one.
thinking that this morning. I was like,
Yeah.
there's so many I could do.
Yeah.
There's like
Yeah.
different things I want to add in, different
Hmm.
ways to do it. Yeah, for sure.
Or
This
looking
is
back at
amazing.
yourself at different times. Like this was me
Yeah.
at 10ish. What
Mm-hmm.
about me at 18 or 30 or
Yeah,
so
for
well,
sure.
thank you so much for being such an
Yeah.
enthusiastic and willing participant. When you were so
Oh,
quick, I was like, this is amazing. This is a dream come
you
true.
got
So thank you
it.
so much. And thanks
Yeah,
to
thanks,
those of you
Alyson.
who joined us and are joining us
Yeah.
afterwards. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks, you too.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.